Hello everyone, and welcome back to another reading. Today we're doing another daily check-in. Now, if you haven't been on my channel before, how I do things is a little bit different. I won't be doing a pick a card reading per se. This is only one reading, but you can go to the playlist in the description with other daily check-ins and pick from there. So you can use the title card image that I've selected for each of the readings. You could shuffle the playlist and see what comes up first. You can do whatever you see fit to select a daily check-in. And I'll continue to add daily check-ins to that playlist over time so that there'll be plenty to choose from and you can come back to it whenever you'd like and get more daily check-ins. I will also be doing this for other questions that you might need answering about the love, career, and more. This is obviously one of the first-ish readings I'm doing on this channel, so there aren't so many right now if you're seeing this when I've posted this, but there will be more down the line, so please feel free to save it if none of the piles are resonating with you. So for this reading, we'll be using the Urban Tarot, and oh, there's a nice card to show you, give you a little sense of kind of what the Urban Tarot is all about. So I'll be using that deck primarily, but I'll also be getting a couple clarifiers from my Light Seers Tarot Mini. And the, what was it called? Portals, Passages, Oracle. I'll have to look that up, but I will post it in the description. All right, and without further ado, let's get started. This is a quick daily check-in, so it should not take too long, but you never really know, do you? Oh goodness, hello. So what does this pile need to know for today? Or the day that they are seeing this? Oh, hello. Oh yeah, Okay. Interesting. So I get the sense already that there's a, kind of a real sense of loss, of feeling defeated to some degree, of feeling like, again, failure. This card says failure, feeling like you failed. It's kind of dark. Maybe there's a little bit of depression, anxiety playing in. But, I mean, obviously, yeah, I haven't pulled another card yet, but I'm also getting a little bit of a sense of hope, or an idea that, like, something better could be coming, possibly, but the initial energy here is one of, it's a little bit darker. So if that's not what your energy is feeling like right now, this might not be the pile for you. Okay, so let's keep going. Oh, hello. Something flipped over. I don't know why, but I want to pull it. Yeah, there's a Princess of Disc. Yeah, there is a little bit of hope here. We've got the kindergarten teacher. I love that all of the court cards have like jobs tied to them. Yeah, I get the sense that you are, let's just start off, that you're in a place of kind of feeling defeated and like you're a failure in life, but you have a lot of hope and you have a very childlike nature to some degree. Not childlike really, but like you have a sense of childlike wonder and of, I guess, of nurturing to you, where you want to nurture that in other people. So I think that's partly where the hope's coming from, where you still have that part of you that is tapped into an inner child and understands the importance of it. And I think maybe that's also where the failure is coming in, maybe in your life currently, like you're feeling a little bit like it's not working out the way you planned. Your inner child's being squashed. You know, you're being forced to do a lot of things that just don't vibe with you, but you feel like you have no choice because you need to do it to survive, that sort of thing. But that's not who you are inside. Inside, you're a nurturing, caring, hopeful person. So I'm definitely sensing that right away. And yeah, someone with a lot to give and to offer and a lot of overflowing hope and emotion. You're a passionate person, I can definitely tell. Yeah, ooh, I love the fountain imagery for this. That just looks really pretty. Yeah, I'm getting the sense of that, and that's probably also where some of this sense of failure and defeat's kind of coming from to some degree. Like it kind of feels a little bit like you know, you have so much to give, and maybe you've given so much and feel like you haven't reaped any rewards from it, or it's everything's just been taken. And, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you're starting to realize that all the good in you feel like is being sapped out of you. I think that's kind of where the energy that we're currently at. But let's get some maybe little bits of advice. I want one more of these cards. I feel like we want one more with the Urban. I don't know why. What's one more of this? And then we've also got the Prince of Discs. Ooh. Interesting. So I'm kind of getting this, the way I'm kind of seeing it is that it's like you're someone who wants to go in this direction. Like you would like to be more like the kindergarten teacher, you know, be more nurturing, you know, be more in tune with your inner child, more hopeful, more playful. You know, you'd love for your life to have those kinds of adventures and stories, but maybe you feel like at the moment you're kind of being pushed into this, quote unquote, like day trader, you know, realm. If you don't know what a day trader is, it's, you know, I don't know how best to explain this for people, because to be honest, I don't know too much about it, but think like stocks and money and the corporate world, you know, that's the kind of vibe we're going to get for that. But this person's also very practical and has a lot of money and stability. So, you know, maybe you feel like you're being pushed in a direction like that, not the specific job necessarily, but let's just say that you're being pushed in a job, you know, in a direction where you feel like that's what you have to head for, because that's going to give you stability, and you probably feel really unstable right now. And, you know, someone who's maybe a little bit more emotional, more hopeful, more artsy, more creative tends to feel a little bit unstable just by nature. That's just kind of how we are. I mean, it comes with the territory of having lots of emotions and feelings and stuff. That's one of those things. And it also comes with the territory of, you know, possibly being neurodivergent. So if that's you, welcome. This is probably your pile. So that's where I'm kind of seeing you at right now, where it's like you feel like you're being forced into shoes that don't fit you, but you have to, or else, you know, something worse could happen. And I think that this sense of failure is giving you all that anxiety and the fear of what could happen. And that's what's leading you down the path that you don't want to go down. So I feel like that's kind of the energy we're in right now. But like, what can we do about this? You know? Basically, what can we focus on today? That's what I want to ask right now. Before this reading gets too long, of course. But what do we want to focus on today? Using my Light Seers mini. This one keeps popping up. Page of Wands. We'll get to that in a second. I want to pull a couple more. Yeah, I definitely feel like this fear is hurting you right now. Let's just start there. That fear is absolutely hurting you. 2 of Wands. Yes, okay. The Star. Sorry, I'm like trying to shuffle on camera so you can see, but it keeps getting closer to me. Yeah, I knew there was a sense of hope. I got that automatically. There's like a hopefulness, and that's what the Star is all about. And 2 of Cups. You know what? How I'm seeing this, you know? I'm seeing this like you are... Again, this dark sense of fear and all that, I think it's an illusion to some degree. I think you were tricking yourself. And I wouldn't say tricking yourself necessarily. It's not completely an illusion. I think it's there for a reason. And the reason that this fear and this dark sense of self and all that is here, it is a challenge. It's a challenge for you. I don't know how much you know about cycles, and I kind of just realized I made this into a circle kind of by accident, because I'm getting the sense of this is a cycle that you are going to be in forever, and universe, spirit, whatever you believe in, is trying to teach you something right now. And what it's trying to teach you is to fight this fear, is to sit with the fears, to do things that scare you. I feel like that you, again, are someone who's very hopeful, but maybe what you tend to do is get really stuck in daydreaming and in sitting with the feelings and in sitting in your head and just like letting all that stew, but not actually doing anything with it. You kind of think that like if something's meant to happen, it'll happen, right? But I think what this cycle is trying to teach you is like, no, it's not that it will just happen. It's that you have to do things to make that happen. You have to actually take some action. Do what inspires you. Do what lights that fire in you. Actually start planning and executing on things. You know, like I feel like that's what you're missing. Right now you're stuck in this like hope. Looking out a window, I see a lot of that, but what you're missing is the action behind it. What you're missing is that, well, I'm going to do this thing that really lights me up and that makes me happy. Because again, maybe it's not practical. It's scary because there's a fear tied to that. There's a fear tied to all of that, whatever it is. But I think what this cycle is going to teach you, and it has probably continued to teach you over and over again, is that if you let this fear and darkness rule you, you just end up in that, you know, that place with the shoes that don't fit. You end up over emotional, you end up back to hoping, and then back to despair. And it's just a cycle that keeps going on and will continue to hit you with a different coat of paint until you learn the lesson it wants to teach you. And I do think that that's where you're at right now. I think you're at another turning point where you felt hopeful, you know, all that stuff was going on, and now you're back in that fear and despair, and you're trying to make a decision to make that go away. But we don't need it to necessarily go away. And I know that's really scary and risky, but there's action that needs to be taken right now. You are a student of life, and now is the time to learn a new hobby that you've always wanted. Now is the time to start taking action on those dreams and on those things that you've always wanted to do. And it doesn't have to be in a super scary way. It doesn't have to mean quitting your job, but it can just mean, you know, joining an online course, or it can mean starting an Instagram page for your hobby, or it can mean starting that YouTube channel. It could mean a lot of different things. I also feel like you're, again, someone with a lot of emotions and a lot of love. And I think, you know, possibly recently maybe you went through a breakup, or you're going through a difficult time in your relationships. And I think now is also a time, rather than focusing on the practicalities of things, like I said, focusing on what lights you up, but also focusing on those relationships and on the people around you, and on giving and receiving from people and partnerships. You know, I think this is stuff that will help support you, even if, you know, to some degree you kind of like to do things by yourself. And I feel like you're someone who loves the people, maybe loves the people around you, but you tend to do the difficult things by yourself because you don't want to burden other people with that. And I think this is, you know, kind of telling you, hey, let's focus on those relationships. Let's focus on your relationship with relationships because it'll help you through learning the lessons you need to learn in this cycle. Let's pull a couple of oracle cards. This portals thing is actually really poignant because this deck is all about kind of, again, like portals and passages, ways where you enter a different place. So I'd be kind of curious to see what yours is. Ooh, we have ascend to your higher self. You are keeping yourself low. You're keeping yourself below everyone else because of that fear, because of maybe you're people pleasing too. Like, I feel like that plays into this a little bit. I definitely get a sense of people pleasing, but I think this is the time to ascend into that higher self and birth. Yeah, like becoming anew. This is, again, we're going through this cycle over and over again. I think it's time to stop it. It's time to stop this cycle. I wouldn't say stop it. It's time to complete it. You haven't been allowing it to complete. You've been allowing it to repeat over and over and over again with a different coat of paint because, again, that's how you thought you could get rid of that really bad feeling. But, like, the way you do that is we need to fight back. This is you ascending into your higher self. So today, focusing on what one step can I take towards that thing I'm passionate about, and how can I continue to do that? How can I heal or focus on my relationship to relationships, and what's going to bring me to my higher self, this rebirth of myself. How do I rebirth myself into, releasing that old and leaving it below where it belongs? All this negativity and feeling, how do I leave that behind and rebirth myself into something new and grounded and what I've always wanted to be. I really just get this sense of like this hopefulness for a self that you've always wanted and you just haven't had it yet. So I think today, and I know it's only one day, but today I feel like your focus is that. Your focus, and this feels like this is the long game. So this is just today, but like keeping in mind, I think this is going to be the long game, where like if there's anything you can do, it's to act on some of that hope. Even if it's small, even if it doesn't feel like it's much, start by taking those little actions. Start by learning, and again, start by focusing a little bit on those relationships that you do have and healing your relationship with relationships. That could be attachment style, could be a lot of things. And I think this will help you ascend into that higher self of yourself. This may be the person that you always wanted to be, the person that you are hopeful about, and born anew, kind of come into the self that you were always meant to be. Not this, but this. So that's your daily check-in for today. I hope that this resonated with you. If it did not for any reason, please feel free to go to the link in the description box and check out another one of the daily check-ins. And if none of those resonate, then I will be posting more, so stay tuned. And thank you so much, and I'll see you in another reading.